New York has been called the city that never sleeps, and during the games in New York, you won't want to. We've concentrated Olympic action in the center of the city. Just steps away from the Empire State Building will be the Olympic Village. The Olympic Stadium, with 10 sports, the broadcast and main press center, and nearly 60,000 hotel rooms for the Olympic family, media, and spectators. Right beside New York's great landmarks like Rockefeller Center, Fifth Avenue, the United Nations, and Broadway. Every visitor will step out of arenas, hotels, and restaurants into a city swept up in Olympic excitement. Olympic action will radiate out from the heart of the city, forming an X across New York. At the center of the X will be the Olympic Village, surrounded by our 3 main sports clusters, all within 10 kilometers. The centrally located village will transform industrial land into a dazzling new community just across from the United Nations. Waterfront parks, great training and recreation facilities, and some of the most spacious apartments in Olympic history will provide everything athletes need to perform at their best. Protected by water on 3 sides, the village will be a calm and secure oasis, with all the excitement just minutes away. And after the games, this site will provide housing for generations of New Yorkers in the city's most desirable new neighborhood. From the village, athletes will reach their venues quickly, traveling on Olympic priority lanes. Olympic Park at Flushing Meadows, home of 2 World's Fairs, will host 5 sports, including water polo, archery against the backdrop of the Unisphere, tennis at the historic National Tennis Center. On the restored site of the Fountain of the Planets from the 1964 World's Fair, a new permanent facility will house the canoe kayak slalom, and 2 lakes will be reclaimed to create a spectacular rowing and flatwater canoeing course, restoring wildlife and wetlands. The lakes will be part of the largest environmental transformation in New York history that will create more than 300 hectares of new or enhanced parkland. The Olympic Riverfront Cluster will host 4 sports, including baseball at Yankee Stadium, boxing at a restored armory, and badminton and track cycling at a stunning new indoor velodrome. And on the west side of Manhattan, the Olympic Square Cluster will host 8 sports, the NPC and the IBC, including basketball at Madison Square Garden, and athletics at a new Olympic stadium along the river. This stadium will be the centerpiece of a historic transformation to turn this neglected area into New York's next great gathering place, which includes the first major extension of New York's subway system in 25 years. Nearly every venue will be reachable by mass transit for spectators, like gymnastics at the Brooklyn Arena, connected by 10 subway lines. This arena, designed by Frank Gehry, anchors a sweeping urban renewal project to create a vibrant new neighborhood and host a professional basketball team, the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Arena is just one of the planned or existing world-class sports facilities in New York that we've selected for Olympic events. In 2012, we'll host football at Giant Stadium, which has welcomed 2 World Cups in the last 10 years, volleyball at the Continental Airlines Arena, and handball at Nassau Coliseum. Our plan will capture the excitement of the city. Olympic events will take place in front of New York's most stunning landmarks, like softball in a riverfront stadium overlooking the Statue of Liberty, hockey at the tip of Manhattan where the cliffs of the Palisades will provide a spectacular backdrop for competition, and beach volleyball and aquatics in a spectacular new waterfront park facing the Manhattan skyline. Just as in Barcelona, swimmers and divers will be energized by one of the game's most exciting venues. Most people think of New York as Midtown Manhattan and tall buildings. But we are greener than you think. Named the greenest large city in the United States, New York's incredible natural environment will allow us to host virtually every sport right in the city. In 2012, athletes will sail in our ocean, compete in modern pentathlon along our beaches, shoot on a peninsula overlooking the water, bike and ride through our forests, and run through our parks. The excitement will spill out of the venues and into the city. Visitors will celebrate the games in New York's hundreds of diverse neighborhoods, dance in the streets, and join thousands to watch the day's events at live sites in New York's most famous public spaces. At night, the streets will come alive with festivals and parades honoring Olympic and Paralympic heroes from every nation in a breathtaking celebration of global unity as we showcase the Games on New York's unforgettable stage.